On June 29, Haitian-American community leaders, pioneers, college and university students, professionals, officials, and stakeholders convened to discuss about the challenges of the Haitian-American community and to formulate short and long-term goals to move the community forward. We welcome to the program Gypsy Metellus, the Executive Director of Centla, the Haitian Neighborhood Center. Gypsy led the planning committee of the conference, which I was part of. For disclosure, HAPSI was among many community organizations partners of this conference. Welcome, Gypsy, to the program.
Thank you for a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
And let me ask you this. Why an agenda for the Asian American community?
Well, you know, no community, no immigrant community in particular, moves ahead without a game plan. And the game plan is simply looking at all of the issues, the challenges, the opportunities, and the aspirations that as a community we have, and the ways in which, or the approaches and the strategies to move forward around those challenges and issues. And, you know, so years ago, I think 14 years ago to be precise, the then Society of Haitian American Professionals and Entrepreneurs, SHAP, convened or led such a process, right? I was a member of SHAP, and interestingly, many of the planning committee for the 2014 conference were also members of SHAP, right? And so we had the experience, we were part of that process, and you know, conversations among those former members and the Centla leadership, we thought, well, you know, it's time to sort of get the old agenda out of the shelves, if you will, dust it off and look at where we're going. But really, you know, the good news is that much of what was identified as a recommendation for action during the 2000 agenda, much of that has been realized. And for me, that's good news.
Can you mention some
Examples?
of them?
Absolutely. The Little Haiti Cultural Center, the soccer park, these are two things that we had identified as a need for the community. The existence of Centla as a neighborhood resource center is another project or goal that was identified. The fact that in 2005 we partnered with the Brookings Institution to publish the first ever study of the local Haitian American community in South Florida. That was a need identified also during the 2000 process. We were very bruised by what happened during the 2000 census, bruised because our community did not understand the stakes around the census, did not understand the need for everyone to fill out the form, to be counted, to stand up, so to speak. The 2010 census proved to be something totally different, to the extent that we had widespread participation. All sectors of the community were on board, and we made a point of ensuring that people would understand the goals there too. So that was a very good thing. The civic engagement, I think, and this community is another area that we identified as a priority, not only to have more Haitian Americans elected to office, but to also ensure that the population was informed, engaged, continues to be, such that, you know, our engagement isn't strictly around elections, but that when there are issues that are raised at the county level, state level, federal level, local, municipal levels, that the participation of community members be very, very real as well. And so I think that's another example of successful things, ideas, projects, recommendations identified then, which have come to fruition today. But clearly, there's a lot more work to be done. There are increasingly more challenges around youth, educational attainment, a growing elderly population, the state of our neighborhoods, the crime rate in certain neighborhoods, the lack of business development or business opportunities, the slow, or let's just say lack of participation in public-private partnership opportunities. So there's so much more that we've got to do around economic empowerment, financial empowerment, economic development, job creation. And so, we're hoping that this year, the process, of course, affords opportunities for action steps.
And how the community welcome these initiatives?
Well, our community is an interesting community like all others, right? And so I think that there were people who welcomed the opportunity because they said 14 years later it was due time, and so the response was positive from that point of view. There are other people who indicated that they were glad that the planning committee took it upon itself to do this, because otherwise leadership abhors a vacuum, and so with that, members of the community who sort of take the risk and take a step to get something done, then of course people sort of stand by and wait for someone else to pick up the mantle. And so we got also positive feedback from those who indicated that they were happy to see us do this. And then of course you had naysayers, I think people who either felt that they were not involved, they were not consulted, there were those issues. But let me tell you, bottom line is that the challenges that face us as a community do not give us the luxury of waiting for people to get ready to act, right? The work needs to be done. We just need to get it done. And sometimes we move forward with those who get it, who get the vision, who understand that there can be no bystanders, that there can be no sideliners. The kind of stuff that we've got the challenges that face us in this community, we need folks who are dedicated, determined, and focused to move us forward.
In 2002, following the 2000 conference, there was a document published, and this is a document that they recognize as the community agenda document.
Right.
In 2014, will be another document?
I think we're going to most definitely publish the final recommendations, and we're going to try to take it further this year, to the extent that on the one hand, we identify the local government institutions or entities that have jurisdiction over the issues that are identified, as well as, on the other hand, the local Haitian-American community organizations, socio and professional organizations that have that sort of work in these areas. So that way we've got not only the jurisdictional authority, but we also know who can shepherd those recommendations, who could sort of monitor their progress, who can maybe fold some of those recommendations into their own activities, their own programs and projects. And so we know that we're going to be doing a lot of that.
And this document will be also available to the public?
The document, once it is, in fact, before we even publish it, we hope to sort of take the recommendations that we got on June 29th. We want to take them on some sort of road trip, if you will, to sort of get additional buy-in from community members, to sort of give them the opportunity to weigh in, especially those who could not attend. And so, we're giving that some time to give us sufficient input to then finalize the document and, of course, make it widely available electronically and as a hard copy, not just to local organizations, CBOs, professional associations, entities that work in the Haitian community, or governmental entities as well, such that there be one Haitian community plan. Now, whether or not people choose to work within the elements of the plan, listen, if you're doing work in this community, whether you buy into this plan or not, it will reflect what you're doing. So in that sense, even I think there's opportunities for the naysayers to come on board.
And some people feel that in the Haitian community, you see the same people, or the leadership has failed. You are in a position that I'm sure that you hear that quite often. And what are your opinions on that?
Let me tell you, I have two ways of answering that particular criticism. I think on the one hand, those people who are on the scene, weren't recruited by anybody. Sometimes, you either, it's your passion, it's what you believe in, it's your commitment. You just step up, because that's what leadership is. You must step up when the need is there. Again, as I'll remind you, leadership abhors a vacuum, right? So when there is no leadership, you sort of see people going in a million different directions. But on the other hand, I think that clearly we must take the opportunity in our community to sort of intentionally recruit younger folks, new leaders, to sort of involve them, engage them, make them understand that they sort of have next in terms of what's going on in the community today, such that they're fully prepared to either assume the leadership of an organization such as SANTLA. So whether it is nonprofit leadership, it is community leadership, whether at the elected level, at the appointed level, or just at the activist level, right? Because remember, no one anointed many of us who play the role today. We were there, we assumed that responsibility. And today I think the same principles go true for all of those who say it's the same people, right? You think it's the same people? Well, push us aside. I'm dying to step aside.
And tell me, if someone wants to learn more about this agenda and the next steps?
Absolutely. They can contact us at SANTLA, www.santla.org, or at the office, 305-573-4871. And of course, we're located at 5000 Biscayne Boulevard. We welcome questions, recommendations, participation, clearly, because if we're going to make this a plan that's widely disseminated to these jurisdictions, we want to be sure it's something that everybody has a stake in.
Thank you, Gypsy.
Thank you, led such a process, right? I was a member of SHOP, and interestingly, many of the planning committee for the 2014 conference were also members of SHOP, right? And so we had the experience. We were part of that process, and conversations among those former members and the SANTLA leadership. We thought, well, it's a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
And let me ask you this: why an agenda for the Haitian-American community?
Well, no community, no immigrant community in particular, moves ahead without a game plan. And the game plan is simply looking at all of the issues, the challenges, the opportunities, and the aspirations that as a community we have, and the ways in which, or the approaches and the strategies to move forward around those challenges and issues. And, so years ago, I think 14 years ago to be precise, the then Society of Haitian-American Professionals and Entrepreneurs, SHAP, convened.
On June 29, Haitian-American community leaders, pioneers, college and university students, professionals, officials, and stakeholders convened to discuss about the challenges of the Haitian-American community and to formulate short and long-term goals to move the community forward. We welcome to the program Gypsy Metellus, the Executive Director of SANTLA, the Haitian Neighborhood Center. Gypsy led the planning committee of the conference, which I was part of. For disclosure, HAPSI was among many community organizations partners of this conference. Welcome, Gypsy, to the program.
Thank you, Farah.